All right, BJ, we're going.
You gotta ban yourself too. Volunteerism, today and tomorrow. Imagine it's Christmas morning and you are a child. Anticipate the excitement you feel when you wake up first thing in the morning. It's Christmas. You've got the tree lit. You've got the presents under the tree. Now, imagine that there's no tree, that there's no presents under the tree. Depressing, isn't it? This happens more often than likely people realize. Kids don't realize that there may be times that are hard on mom and daddy. Imagine now a hurricane, a tornado, a flood, a fire, a natural disaster, or even a man-made disaster. What happens next? What do you do? This is where your volunteering comes into effect. There are people that step up in times of these natural disasters that look after people that have lost their homes. They've lost their cars. They've lost family members. They've lost their communities. This is where volunteering is very important for a lot of reasons. According to the American Red Cross, they respond immediately to 70,000 natural and man-made disasters a year in the United States. 70,000. People volunteer for many reasons. Carol Marcusi, who is actually a co-worker at KHEC, spends her time volunteering for the SPCA. She spends an average of 6 hours a week. She volunteers for personal gain and the close personal connection that she has to her to the organization, the SPCA. She is a dog matcher and an obedience trainer. So what she does, the SPCA has dogs that they will adopt out so that they don't kill them. Well, she puts the dogs together with families and she makes sure that their personalities match. So when she's making that connection, she's just not giving a dog a home, she's giving a dog a family. She teaches the dogs hand commands, so when they are new to the home, that if a person tells them to stop or stay, that they will, and this helps their transformation into the home so that if there are kids involved or if there are elderly involved, they don't have to worry about the dogs not knowing coming into a strange house. Another volunteer at KHEC is Shelley Robinson. She volunteers for Habitat for Humanity, Safe Haven for Cats, and for the Salvation Army Angel Tree. She states that she likes the group atmosphere when volunteering. She would rather do group volunteering at the Angel Tree where there's 2 or 3 people, or at Habitat where there is a group of co-workers that go and volunteer. She chooses activities that gives back to the community that she lives in. She spends most of her volunteer hours spent during the holiday season because that is when she feels the need is the greatest. Many organizations, both for and nonprofit, have incorporated volunteerism and giving back to the community as part of their mission statement. KHEC, which is an acronym for Community Affordable Housing Equity Corporation, states its mission is to better meet the needs of its partners and ensure that the long-term impact of our efforts are the provision of sustainable and healthy communities. Specifically, KHEC's mission is to raise and invest equity capital in qualified low-income housing tax credit properties and other products, to provide capital through a series of community investments that empower residents, promote the development and rental of affordable housing, and foster sustainability within its communities they serve. KHEC has a set of tenant-based community programs designed to empower residents living in the developments they helped to finance. They have granted more than $7.2 million and lent more than $5.7 million toward a variety of community investments initiatives. KHEC's resident-based community programs has a strong volunteer policy. Both the Senior Recognition Program and the Youth Recognition Program reward participants for community service. Senior volunteers volunteer up to a minimum of 100 hours, and the youth volunteer a minimum of 10 hours. The seniors volunteer 100 hours in 10 months. The youth volunteer 10 hours within a school year. According to Mark Hugo, a research director at the Center for Information and Research on Civic Learning, he states that volunteering rates among young people are generally higher than they are among adults. Benefits reaped by volunteering at a young age can be measured. Molly Latham, an area extension specialist at the University of Nevada, writes that youth who volunteer just one or more times a week are 50% more likely to 50% less likely to abuse alcohol, cigarettes, or partake in destructive behavior. They learn to respect others, develop leadership skills, become more patient, and they gain a better understanding of citizenship and their community. Youth who volunteer are more likely to do well in school. Volunteer opportunities provide an environment for people of different generations to work together toward a common goal. Youth volunteer, but most likely they volunteer to meet some type of requirement. For example, the Youth Recognition Program. Your students volunteer, but they volunteer because it is part of the program. Many youth choose to participate in programs that have a community service activity. While talking with many participants of the 2012-2013 KHEC Youth Recognition Program, reasons citing for volunteering include items such as their efforts have made a difference and a positive effect within their community. It's fun, and it looks good on their college application. Many participants stated they did not know how much they would like volunteering until they first tried it. When researchers at the London School of Economics examined the relationship between volunteering and happiness in a large group of American adults, they found the more people volunteered, the happier they were. According to a study in social science and medicine, compared with people who never volunteered, the odds of being very happy rose 7% among those who volunteer monthly, 12% for volunteers every 2 to 4 weeks, and 16% for people who volunteer weekly. People often find long-time friendships through volunteer work. While meeting people is often an added bonus, many people choose to volunteer primarily to develop friendships with people from different cultures. Making friends with your fellow volunteers is a strong incentive to get youth to volunteer. Volunteers are bonded by their experiences. They make lifelong friendships that come from working and exploring new things together. North Carolina 2011 statistics show that 26.4% of residents in North Carolina volunteered, ranking North Carolina 33rd among 50 states for volunteerism, 31.4 volunteer hours per resident, 1.92 million volunteers within the state, 228.6 million hours of volunteer service, and $5 billion worth of service contributed. How do we encourage our youth to continue their community service? It's as simple as encouraging, asking, and giving them the opportunity. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
What kind of opportunities are there for youth to volunteer?
Youth can volunteer with the seniors in their communities. They can paint bridges. They can clean up the beaches, things of that nature. They can do it as a group, or they can volunteer individually, and they can volunteer individually through your local libraries. They can do reading times.
What's your favorite volunteer work?
I prefer to do the food drive with the food bank in Raleigh. Okay, thank you.